Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justmoparjoe. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Caltracs suspension and some truck suspension stuff. A lot of people are interested in turning their old D100, D150, whatever into a drag truck. You can see a lot of cool drag truck stuff if you go check out 318 Will Run. He actually turned his long bed D100 or D150 into a race truck. So check them out if you haven't seen that. If you found this video, I got some good clips today to show you of my old black truck. And I sold it within the last 3 to 5 years, basically because I've got too many projects and high school's over. So when I had the truck, it actually had some kind of homemade slapper bars that I've built up here. And I'm going to insert some clips of that for you. It had my 408 in it, and I was running around, I think my best time was 780 in the truck. And it's full interior, all that. Uh, 456 gear and some 28-inch slick, something like that. So plenty of tire. The issue with the truck is that most trucks are pretty lightweight in the rear. And I didn't want to really try to add weight or anything. I know a lot of guys, they're welding iron and they're doing all kinds of stuff to the back of their trucks. And you'll probably have to if you actually speed up and need to do that sort of stuff. But with my situation, I made a slapper bar that attached to the bottom of the leaf springs to where the U-bolts come through. And it just sat in right between, if you have 4 U-bolts like this, the bar itself went right between them, came out and came up, and it contacted the front of the leaf spring eyelet. So I'll try to show you some. So I put the bars where they had just barely a little bit of preload and a rubber bumper on that eyelet before I took off. So every time I gassed the truck the entire truck would lift. Something that helped that, having like a 90-10 shock in the front. If you're just a weekend or occasional racer, you can actually unscrew the top of your shock in the front to where it could travel and get a couple inches of separation before it actually goes to transfer the weight. I never really had a major traction issue with the truck. I did try to run drag radials on it a couple times, and I had once or twice where it had wheel hopped and broke one of my traction bars. So where the weld, I had extended the bar out, it broke it, and that was a bad day. So I was able to bring it home, stiffen all that back up, and went back out with it. And it seemed to be working so well that a while back there was a burnout challenge of some kind. The truck wouldn't even do a burnout that was wet down pavement. The truck wouldn't even do a burnout. So what I learned from that, it was hooking up so well that it was not going to sit there and spin the tires, especially with the big slicks. I think I could have put some street tires on and probably been fine. But I'm going to show you a couple clips of the truck before. And now I'll show you some clips of the truck with the new Caltracs suspension. So let me show you that video and then show you some passes of it. A lot of y'all will remember this from the channel. That's my old black truck. Used to have a 408 in it, and now it's got a pretty healthy 440. Sold this to a buddy. He's now named it the Black Widow. Check out the Caltracs on an old Mopar truck. let's see how they got them going here. There's our 8 3/4. It's got 4 leaf springs, look like factory springs. I put that clamp on there. And everything looks lovely. Let's look at it from the back. Here's the rear tires. Nicky Thompson's. 28 10 5 15S. I like that sticker he put on there. Ooh. And it looks like some old blue Monroes on the back. Oh, good old black truck. I painted this thing, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago or something. I guess some footage of it. So currently the truck has a 440 in it with 440 source stealth aluminum heads. And if you saw my other video where I actually took a hanging scale and I weighed my 408 with the cast iron heads, and I weighed a 509 or 508 stroker, the stroker was only about, I think, 11 or 12 pounds heavier than that 360 with the cast iron heads. And the stroker, the bigger stroker, did have aluminum heads. So I think it took a lot of weight off in that aspect. So right now, as the truck sits, it does look like it has some kind of front race shock. It has the lightweight wheels. It does have slicks on the rear, and it's got Caltracs. So I was really impressed at how well the Caltracs and everything worked. It's a fairly mild 440. I think it's still a hydraulic flat tappet cam, single 4-barrel intake. Nothing special about it, headers, but it really kind of gets down for what it is. And I wanted to share it with you in case you're inspired to kind of start drag racing your truck. These are some options for some traction. My slapper bars were probably as cheap as you could go, and you do need to have a good welder. I would probably go more than flux core. And it did work for me running, like I said, I got down to 780s. I think somewhere in the 80 mile per hour range. But the Caltracs are a nicer setup. If you can afford them, I would probably go with them. It really just takes a little trial and error to make them work. Hopefully that'll help somebody out there if they are trying to drag race their truck. So I appreciate y'all watching. I'll put a few windows up here and here of some of my old drag race videos in my truck with the slapper bars if you want to check out that footage. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time.